Hi guys, welcome back. And in this one we're going to talk about a video I just recently seen. You probably know it's legendary, but this one was uploaded on YouTube. It was I'll give credit to the person when I can remember, Darth something. It was really interesting movie take on it. It was uploaded on VHS. It was a 1981 CBS airing upload of Halloween. That's right, the original John Carpenter's Halloween. This was an interesting video on YouTube because the commercials were involved, and you have to get a sense of what was going on in 1981, and the commercials are fantastic. Besides the movie itself, with Michael Myers being the rampant attacker, um, overall, this movie, Halloween, what can I say about it? It is probably one of the factored modern day 80s, early 70s, early 80s scary slasher madman films. This would lead on to, of course, Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, and even other slashers like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Well, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is in its own realm, but they're all pretty good. Overall, I think the score really led this film. So a lot of the boom boom, boom boom, boom boom. My wife was playing the piano while air piano while the movie was going on, and I found that funny. So that movie is, if it didn't have that soundtrack, I don't know what would happen. Would it be that good? It had some stars in it, of course. It had a few stars in it. Of course, an early, uh, you know, early start for some of them. So Jamie Lee Curtis being an early young person in this film, and then P.J. Coles, who had some certain movies, and of course, Seance, I think his name is. I forgot his name. The English guy. Overall, this movie, if you were to watch it, I think you should watch it because of uh, the score alone, and of course, the story where Michael Myers is a 7-year-old boy. Pardon me, guys. Just give me 1 second. As always, I do these early in the morning before I'm at work, but I haven't started yet. But anyway, yeah, the sound score always makes the movie. And basically, Michael Myers is 7 years old or something like that in his age, and he kills one of his family members, his sister, and is put away. But about 30 years later, 20 years later, or 30 years later, he comes back to kill the rest of the family. And that is the premise of Jamie Lee Curtis, who was actually hers. I think her name is Nancy. I'm not sure. She's the one running around, running away from him. So this movie and the Wolfman, I'm going to give this a great. I'm going to have to give it one of the best all time. I wish I could howl right now, but there's someone across from me. But I'm going to give it 5 howls. Ow, 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 ow. All right, guys. All right, guys. Good morning. Well, it's morning for me when I'm making this review. This one I'm going to make about this found footage I just saw recently on Tubi. So check it out on Tubi. It's called Lexi. This is a found footage horror style where a social media influencer um, named Lexi promotes well-being, positivity, and happiness. And so she has a following, and she's getting really successful at it. And she actually buys a house from her social media, I guess, from her all her influence and whatever, or her affiliates or whatever. And so while that happens, she buys a house, and she's excited and posts every day. Now it's kind of a documentary slash mystery slash horror because the beginning of the film says that the FBI collected the footage and says, like typical, found footage, that she's a missing person. So this is already alluding, you already know she's missing, but this is telling the story. And so they have some people on the documentary that say what happened. Anyway, Lexi progresses and she gets a gift, a weird gift one day, a mannequin head. And it was really weird. You could see in the camera she's usually positive. Well, this one she didn't. She looked a little nervous. And so the following days, more weird things happen. She's being filmed while being asleep. She hears noises, doors locked. So things are really getting weird in this new house. And so it alludes to one of the documentaries. The person says in that house in the 90s, there was a couple there. One was a photographer. I forgot the other one. And he went missing. His wife supposedly didn't know the answer why he went missing. So yeah, it keeps on going and going. And then all of a sudden, things get more weird. She starts playing hide and seek with the head, and as it progresses, she starts losing her mind, and then they dig old videos of Lexi. So the social media finds out she did things that were humiliating before she became famous, like had a weird cameraman tell her to do weird things like suck her thumb and hold a baby bear, and put a pie in her face, and it gets progressively just weird. So the whole story of Lexi is unbalanced. So she's just not she just didn't come out of positivity nowhere. This was a persona she portrayed, but she was trying to capture that energy. So basically, the ending is where it gets weird, is because the last day they see her, she has her phone and she's running around the house and it gets black. This film overall, I think the director, I forgot her name, she directed it and starred it, and there's going to be a nudity scene, so just give you a heads up. She's going to be nude in it, if you're in Tubi anyway. And yeah, she has three dogs in the house too, which is kind of weird. Anyhow, I give this Omar the Wolfman gives this film or found footage two howls. Ow! Ow! Go watch it. Bye. All right, guys. My next movie I want to talk about is called Dark Knight. Oh no, it's called One Dark Night. And in this movie stars Meg Tilly. You might know Meg Tilly. She appeared in Psycho and she was in The Big Chill. These are other movies that are not horror, but she's an actress of the 80s. In this film, she's very young. So this is, I think, her second film. Not sure. I think this is 1983. I might not be right. This one's 1983. And this is the story of a young girl who's trying to fit in the town. Typical, town movie horror film. And she wants to be part of these high school club of girls who wear these purple jackets, these girls. And one of the girls doesn't really like her because that girl that she doesn't like was the ex of the boyfriend she's currently, Meg Tilly's dating. And so in order for her to get her in, they do this cruel joke. They have her go into a like crypt place, and they tell she has to stay in that crypt mausoleum place, like where the bodies are at. So you could imagine how that's going to be. So um, that's where the pranks begin, because as they tell her to stay there and they give her like a pill that hallucinates that she doesn't know, they leave and they say you have to stay there the whole one night. So she stays there one night. And this is where the fun begins, because they actually come back, the girls, and play these tricks. Sorry, guys. She plays these tricks. And the trick is, what they're doing is, this is the trick. They're wearing masks to be and scaring her, but they don't realize that there's something in the crypt that has lived a long time, and it actually has powers, because the storyline also goes, there's a man in there that lived there who has the ability to move things and lives through the dead, and his daughter has felt that her father who lived there had these powers and killed many young girls is back there. So it kind of goes back and forth. The storyline's all over the place because it kind of jumps back and forth. But that Crypt Creeper monster is going to scare, and it's going to have powers and move things and scare those girls. So overall, the movie, I give it a very confusing film, but it has some unique things about it. Moving psychic powers, so this is and moving the corpses around, which was wild. This creature had the ability, which was inside this man. Well, he's more of a dead corpse. Moving other dead corpses sounds silly, but in 1983, that was pretty cool to me. And there's a lot of 80 themes with jocks and cars, and there's even a football scene where they're having football. They're having a football game, and they throw the football across, and they catch. It's all crazy. So anyway, oops, wrong movie. I'm confusing it. Anyhow, I'm gonna give this movie a one howl. Ow! For an 80s film that tried really hard.
It's 2 rounds. 2 rounds. I remember you. You remember me? Cole? What did you do to them? What are you going to do to me? Father. No. I can feel it inside of me. I can feel. Is that you? Go ahead, Cole. I'm listening. I'm listening.
One more, last round.
To be continued in the next season of We're Alive. And now, a word from our sponsor. Descendants, produced by Productions. Starring Deton, also Hayes, Jim Gleason as Michael,
Elisa Elliott as Hedge, Constance Byrne, Christy Carlson Romano as Glory,
Scott Mark as Bert,
Leanne Rubin as Ryan, Sammy Klein as Kelly, Carol Kaufman as Mira, Lauren Kroom as Secretary Rose, Vanessa Brooks as Nicole,
Michael Urson as Vincent,
Riley Bishop as
Sam Stallman as Will, Skip Peepo as Albert,
Gigi Gisano as the Fool,
Josh Petersdorf as Rolls,
William Leon as Jack,
Leonard Kelly Young as
Brandon Rowe as Westport Soldier,
and I'm Michael Swan. Additional voices by Tony Edo,
Natasha Malone, Shannon Zimmerman,
Hero Carlisle, Victoria Chang, Casey Waiter, Michael Keane and Gino Jack. Produced by Casey Waiter. Editing and sound by Gino Jack. Assistant editing by Tim Mulder. Infected sound design by Michael Keane and Gino Jack. Mastered by Gino Jack. Original music by Robert Mark and Danny Burkhardt Hopkins.
Score assistance by Evan Scott,
Recording and engineering by Leland Productions. Recording engineer
Papa,
Victoria Chang.
scared the shit out of me.
Script supervisor
Hi, Papa.
Jack. Production assistants
Hi, Papa.
Isabella Miller and Holly Reagan Scott.
Like 20 minutes ago?
Production manager
Just trying to get some
Victoria
out.
Chang. Social media manager and videographer is Gino Jack.
Punching this bag.
Co-produced
You
by
should punch this bag off.
Executive producer Alexander J. Newton. Chief Marketing Officer Helen Brown. Marketing Assistant Abby Lee. Network Liaison Tom Thomas. For more info about the show and a complete list of cast and crew, visit us at www.live.com. Access exclusive content and more on our Patreon and follow us on social media.
Three solid rounds tonight. Whew.
What should I do, Vera?
There's the moon.
What would you want of me? What? Madam!
Oh.
There's they just...
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Good night. Oh, yeah. It was a good boxing
The
fight.
scout report.
All right. Wolfman out.
Good morning, guys. It's Saturday, and I'm gonna make myself a hibiscus ginger honey tea. Let me get it started right now. Yeah, that's good. Puppies behind me, my little wolf pack member, Tilly Mac, my little chihuahua. Alright, I'm gonna try this herbal cup ginger hibiscus, lemon hibiscus. I'm starting to like hibiscus. Oh, here she is. There she is, my little Tilly Mac. Was looking for food. All right. Oops. All right. I'm gonna make some tea. Wolfman is combing his hair this morning. That's right. I try to comb it every day because my hair naturally is not straight. It's curly, but I like this look. I enjoy it. It feels good on my scalp. And yeah, I really like combing my hair. I mean, sometimes it could be an annoying thing to do. It's super annoying, but some days it just feels relaxing and soothing. So this is the Wolfman. Ow! The real Wolfman. Try to get the back of my hair too when you comb your hair out. I use this. My wife gave me this heavy duty. It's a little rougher. The teeth on this are a little rougher on my hair, and you can hear the snap out. But it breaks the tangles. That's where it is. A lot of my tangles. And a lot of you might be wondering, well, why don't you style it? I don't know, I just like it like this. Sometimes I just don't find it. Or some people might even say, why don't you braid it? Well, I don't braid it because I have bumps in my head that can be revealing. You probably can't see, but there's bumps in my head. And I'm not draining them right now. I don't have the money to drain them. So I just enjoy doing this. So I'll just cover it up. So, yeah. Oh! All right, I gotta have some tea. I'm starting to like hibiscus tea, which is a more natural tea. I like the color red, but this one is a different one. This is hibiscus with ginger and lemon. So I don't know if the camera can show it. Probably can't. It's just different. It's not like reddish. It's more like a yellowish ochre, maybe a yellow brown. This Wolfman used to drink a lot of coffee for a lot of years, a long time. I drank it maybe since 2006 till, yeah, to 2024. It was a long time, 22 years, I think, a coffee drinker. And lots of sugar, lots of cream, or no sugar and just cream, or sugar cut down to one sugar, one cream. It's just wasn't working with the Wolfman's digestive system. It wasn't working with me. It wasn't helping me. It wasn't making me feel better. With the tea, depending on some teas, some of them I still have a bad reaction to it because some teas, I believe, maybe have a higher caffeine dosage than regular coffee, but the hibiscus one, I find it doesn't. The black tea does have, the one I've been taking like for the last 3 months, has just regular black tea, has high caffeine, even though I didn't feel the difference. With coffee, I would get this natural buzz, this high, and then this taste, my taste buds for sugar, and especially with the big name brands like Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks, they would put this sugary swirl, so it became candy coffee. Yuck. Wolfman doesn't like candy coffee anymore. And I noticed I was gaining a lot of unhealthy weight. So, this Wolfman, no. It's a no. Alright, so this is like a nice golden tea. I wish I could put the camera and show you guys. I might just, well, let me see. Wait. See if I can show you. I'm going to bring the camera over. a second. Try that. There we go. There it is. That's a pretty tea right there. Nice and golden brown. That's enough. No honey, nothing. Just like that. That's about 6 ounces. All right, guys. So a lot of you liked this week's short. Sorry, this week's short of the mausoleum. So if you go to my YouTube channel, see my short, you might have liked the thumbnail of the blonde lady with her boobs almost showing out. I didn't know I was gonna get almost 1,000 views on that. So I did know, kind of did know. What am I saying? This Wolfman knew. Actually, you know, talking about that movie, Mausoleum, I find it quite interesting because when I was searching for a new movie to watch, a new horror movie to watch, the thumbnail of her showing, you know, half her boobs, you know, had me interested. So I clicked on it. So, go figure. That does taste like hibiscus. A little more tingy. It is reddish, actually. It is on the napkin. That's a little bit more reddish. But anyway, going back to the mausoleum, I know I did that review already. I did also the review of One Dark Night, and that was pretty good too. So that being said, I have another one I'm going to review with you guys today. Hopefully, I'll get to finish watching it and then do a review by tomorrow, or hopefully. It's called The She-Wolf, I believe, like that, or Female Wolf, something like that. I forgot. It's a 1970s kind of. I was watching it already. I saw it once, so I'm going to re-watch it and then give you my Wolfman review. This is good hibiscus tea. Oh, and then maybe I'll go back to found footage. I might go next week back to, we'll see. Maybe I'll go back to found footage. I did see some found footage while I was watching horror because I like found footage horror films too. Alright, guys. Oh, loosen up here, guys. I'm just loosening up. Just woke up this morning, and the Wolfman is here. Ow! All right, guys. So my last movie I want to talk about is Night of the Wolf. This is this was dubbed on Tubi, I believe, and I think it's dubbed on the other channels because it's in Spaniard or Spain, and it stars Paul Naschy. Paul Naschy, which I did on Wikipedia. I'm looking here on Wikipedia, by the way, my information. He was a Spanish film actor, screenwriter, and director. He worked primarily in horror films, and he's done, there are like 12 of these movie series that he does with this character, the character Wolderman, I believe. Wolderman, who was a werewolf. Anyway, let me talk about this movie, Night of the Werewolf. This is basically, it starts with, in the beginning of the film, which begins in Hungary. You don't know that, it's only from Wikipedia. But basically, there's an execution of the town, and they're executing the witch and her coven, and then they execute Paul Naschy's character, Wolderman, Daniski, because I think you're going to find out he's a wolf. He's part of the wolf. And how it begins is really cheesy after they chop the head off of one of her elders or whatever, and they put an iron mask on him, and then they put a silver cross thing in his heart. And then, so that's how it begins, the movie. And then it goes into the future, like 300 years later, 19th century, and there's this woman called Erica. She's a student, and she likes to study, I guess, areas like locations and stuff like that. So Europe, she's interested in Europe, but there's a deep, sinister thing to Erica. She actually studies the dark arts and Satan. And so she kills a professor and brings two friends along, two other girls along. And those two girls are Barbara and Karen. Karen and Barbara are going to be very important in this film because later on, as the film is progressing, Barbara is used as a sacrifice because, guess what? Elizabeth wants to bring back those dead witches, especially the queen of them, Elizabeth, who turns out to be a vampire. And the Wolfman likes that, loves vampires and werewolves in a movie. And this was done in 1980. This is a 1980 film. So with that being said, that's the plot. But the trick is, however, is that if they bring Elizabeth back to life, she's gonna bring all her forces of evil on the planet. But that brings back also another character, Wolderman, who is the werewolf. These grave robbers at the same time find his tomb, and they take out the gray silver cross that's still in stuff because it's still stuck in him because they want to make money off it. They don't realize that it brings him back to life. He kills them, and now he's back in the picture. And of course, he falls in love with one of Erica's friends, Karen, he falls madly in love, and he has a servant, Markaya, in the castle for some reason, who has a bird scarring, who predicts that they should be together to fall in love, but also that it's going to be Karen that's going to end his curse. Erica, coming back to the student, runs back, changes the whole storyline. She becomes vindictive. She kills her best friend Barbara, feeds her blood to the tomb of Elizabeth, bringing her back and turning her into a vampire. And so it's like this crazy onslaught of vampire scenes and everything. Overall, there is some sexual scenes, of course, nudity, and the gore is funny. The transformation of the werewolf is one of the most dramatic scenes I've seen in a long time. I have to say, he looks like a little bear, an angry bear at first. But then I come to appreciate his costume, his black shirt, black pants, and this Wolfman liked it. I actually loved this movie. I was enjoying it, actually, very well. And actually, I was, thinking, wow, this movie has more to it. It has a good little storyline. Overall, I'm going to give this movie... Wait, before I even give it a rating, I just wanted to mention the costumes here are great. The battle scene where Elizabeth and the Wolfman, Wolderman fight is amazing, where she throws the coffin, uses psychic power, and he grabs her and she throws him. So it's like a power scene. It's like really cool fight scenes. But eventually she submits to his bite and he destroys the evil vampire witch queen Elizabeth, and the ending is kind of sad because of course he has to die because he's a werewolf. So Karen who was turned into a vampire, by the way, the love of his life, loses the spell but stabs him in the heart and ends it. And that's how that one ends. It was a pretty good movie. I'm going to give this, first time ever, is the highest rating I can give on Omar the Wolfman, is a full moon. Ooh. So, you got a full moon. I can't say it too loud. My wife's sleeping. And I have to, wake her up with that howl. It's going to freak her out. Anyhow, thank you guys for watching. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. Alright guys, I'm back. So this is the last movie I'm going to review. It's called The Legend of the Werewolf Woman. This one is another Italian film. This was in 1976. I was born that year. So it's, according to my Wikipedia, it says directed, screenplay, and story all told by Reno de Silvestrio. The star is Annette Burrell. She was in a lot of blaxploitation, a lot of exploitation films. So would be Isaac Hayes, and there's a lot of sex involved and all that. So this was perfect role for her. But she also played the Werewolf Woman, which she was awesome in, totally awesome. So let me just give you a synopsis real quick of this movie. This movie has a lot of things going on for it, which are good and bad. The beginning has a great storyline where there's an ancestor in the beginning where there's a wolf woman. She's dancing and she transforms into a wolf, and the villagers want to go and attack her because she's practicing evil magic, and she turns into a wolf and she attacks one of the villagers and kills him. But they capture her and burn her alive. Now it goes into the future where the young Daniela is an ancestor to this werewolf, and she has dreams, recurring nightmares, but she is somehow related to her. And in that instance, what we can see from there is the father is trying to protect her. She has a relic, a picture of her ancestor. So, but also there's a backstory to Daniela. She was raped when you were young, brutally by somebody. So she went to therapy. So she's having problems with romance, lots of romance, and she just keeps away from men. Her sister comes one day from the mansion and brings her husband. The husband looks so much like the evil ancestor from the past where the she-wolf killed, and so she winds up killing him. And the sister's baffled of why. So they send her to the psych ward. They don't know that actually Daniela's killing anybody, by the way. They found her, and so they send her to the psych ward where more of a mess happens, and she runs away, but killing more people. This movie has a lot of strong sexual content. She finally meets someone who's gentle and nice. His name is Luca. He's like a stuntman. He's really sweet, and she's finally getting her life together. But one day, 3 men come to the house, brutally rape her and beat her, and Luca's there trying to save her, but he's beaten to death by these 3 thugs, and she's left to get revenge. She gets revenge on all of them, and basically at the end she just kills herself. It's pretty sad. Crazy movie. The Legend of the Werewolf movie has a lot of things that I liked about it. The transformation in the beginning, but she's actually we don't really recognize if she's a werewolf or not in this, as Daniela comes to see. She bites and she can transform a little bit, but she really isn't that strong of a werewolf lady. So I don't know what was going on with that, but with that being said, I think I liked the cast. I liked the romance of it. I like her father being in it, and then there's a cop that investigates, and it had a good start to it, but after that it just lost its thing after the brutally raping and all that. But for a horror movie, this has some good and bad. I think overall, I think it's worth at least one time watch. The Wolfman, Omar the Wolfman here is going to give it 1 howl. Ow! For trying, but worth a watch. So I hope you guys go watch it. It was on Tubi, I believe. That's what I saw it on. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Alright guys, so if you liked what you've seen, I reviewed a found footage, a modern 80s and a little bit of 70s. So it was Lexi, One Dark Night, The Mausoleum, I believe, maybe not, Night of the Wolf, and Legend of the Werewolf Woman. I hope you liked it. Yeah, this was the Wolfman's just movies I watch on Tubi and YouTube. So I really enjoyed them, and if you made it to this far of the whole video, let me know down in the comments below. Put vampire bite, put the word vampire, put howl, or put the word wolf. That way you let me know that you made it to the end of the video, and I know that you're liking it. You like what I'm doing and doing these silly videos. Anyhow, ow! Good night and goodbye for now. Going for a full moon. Ow!